I want to talk about the big news about AEW. And I
Oh,
know that as a rule of thumb, we don't talk about a lot of inside baseball stuff here about AEW. But man, our dude Tony Khan, your friend and mine, he has teased that he has a major announcement this Wednesday. And there's been lots of speculation that perhaps AEW has been eyeing a date in Boston, and even more rumor and innuendo that Sasha Banks may be headed into AEW. Of course, these days she's called Mercedes Moné. She had a handful of fantastic matches for New Japan, and that's really all she's done outside of the WWE tent for a long, long time. It feels like she is one of, if not the biggest free agent in the wrestling world. And there were a lot of hardcore WWE fans who were crossing their fingers and maybe their toes too, hoping that she was in the Women's Royal Rumble. We know that was not the case. And I discussed with Eric Bischoff, if Mercedes Moné does wind up landing in AEW, would it make sense for her to do one of those old school Sean Waltman style shoot promos? Like when Sean first came back to the WWF, fresh off a WCW run, man, that got a lot of buzz going. I really liked that. And I thought it was cool and planted a flag. And really, you've seen a lot of like MJF promos where he references the competition. Where do you stand on a talent referencing the competition and coming out with a big bang and a big worked shoot promo, if you will, on their debut? I ask because you famously did that years ago when you came back to the WWF. Do you think that still works in 2024? Eric was not bullish on it, but I am. What say you?
Sidebar. Did you ever trademark rumor and innuendo?
I don't believe so. We may have. I mean, now that I think about it, Bruce may have, but I don't think so.
Anyway, it's you were talking about free agents and man, the business, it's electric. I shouldn't use it. Yeah, but the I guess the tone and the vibe of the business I absolutely love. And your specific question is, what's my thoughts on a fill in the blank? You said basically a shoot promo.
I mean, I look forward to the Mercedes. There's lots of ways you could debut a talent.
Yes.
But I think about the way that you came back to the WWF and you stood in the ring and you talked about WCW. Now, at the time, WCW was firmly winning the quote unquote war.
Firmly.
And you were the WWF, as weird as this sounds, was kind of the challenger brand. And Eric Bischoff really gained a lot of notoriety by poking at the competition when he was trying to grow WCW, and they were the challenger brand. And we've seen MJF and a lot of other folks come in and do promos, whether it was Taz or it was Punk or whatever. There's always references to the other side. It's always good for a big pop and a good reaction. And if you're trying to really rally the troops behind a challenger brand, I think it's okay to call out the other folks. And I wondered, man, when you're going to do that for Mercedes Moné, or do you do that? We know that she is one of the best wrestlers, you know, bell to bell. But I'm saying as far as her promos, we've only really heard her do her thing through the WWE kaleidoscope, which usually means a producer ran over with pages of notes and says, hey, remember these 2 pages of dialogue and go knock it out in a few hours. I don't think that's how the sausage is made in AEW. So I, for one, am excited, especially given the way she left WWE. And now if she does land at a challenger brand, it just feels like, what do you mean? You have to do that type of promo.
Yes.
Eric didn't like that, but you agree with me, right?
Well, Conrad, I'm going to kind of give you a 2-part answer. One, and I'm not saying that, you know, the old adage, always punch up.
Right.
I'm a big believer in that. But I also think no matter where you are at, whether you're the you know, the number 1 brand or the number 2 brand, whatever it may be, I think the goal of professional wrestling is to blur the lines.
Yes.
Always.
Suspend your disbelief.
It's like the art of truly the essence of what we do sometimes gets completely lost in in the most simplistic of things. It's like I can hear my old man in my ear or Dutch in my ear. It's like, hey guys, the art of this is to suspend disbelief, to make it look real. You can't legitimately beat the crap out of each other or yourself night after night, or you don't have a career. You don't have longevity. The promos, and I'm saying, yes, I was born and raised on, we'll call it the Memphis territory or USWA or Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett or the territories and the era, but it's like the essence of what we do is blur the lines. So how do you do that? You have to say a couple of statements in your promos that are absolutely historical, correct, factual. That promo when I went back to the WWF, and you look, there was so much debate, and look, it set a lightning rod, and I got to go out and do Stone Cold show, but look, we had our chats and all that, but he was furious that night when I took, and as a character, but no, that's really Jeff talking, Stone Cold's being blasphemous and blah, 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 blah. And I'm a heel saying that. And this is a business. And it was scripted for me to bring up Austin first, Brett second, and I think Shawn third or something like that. I said, no. Austin's red hot. I'm saving him for last and go home, because that's kind of the cadence in the promo. But any shoot promo, and I can't hate it, because then I sound like I'm the old timer not evolving with the times, but we'll just call them the work shoot. It's like, instead of call it a work shoot, Lawler in 82, and I'm just saying, or Flair in 82, or plug in play, Ray Stevens or Nick Bockwinkel or Bobby Heenan or whatever it is, the essence of our business, they didn't call them work shoot promos. They called them promos.
Right.
A good money-making promo is a work shoot promo where you weave in. I just saw a clip of Mick Foley from WWE TV this weekend, and I'm not. We'll get into it, but the essence of the clip was him and CM Punk were in the ring, and he said it so good. He said, 29, Punk, 29. Do you know what that is? And I'm going to paraphrase this and get all off. And as it goes, Mick goes, 29. That's the total number of days that I held the WWE Championship.
Yes. Not
in one reign, not in two reign, but in 3 complete reigns, he held the title 29 days. It's not about the days. We work ourselves into these shoots that you got to hold the belt this long or that long, or you've got to do this move off the top rope that is undeniable and all this. No, the art is working. I don't know how Eric could not like a work shoot promo. To me, I'm saying, oh, so you don't want to do a good promo? Because right. The term work shoot, in my mind, it's just a money-making promo.
Well said. I hope that's what we see from Mercedes Moné, and I, for one, do hope she lands.
Hold on. How do you know it's rumor and innuendo? You're heading down that as if it's a given. Isn't there some speculation?
I said, that I hope she shows up in AEW.